What up guys, this is Jim from Jimbudzai Guigu Greater China Tech, and right now, as you can see, I'm outside the corporate headquarters of a company called Shein. Shein actually had more downloads on both the US Apple App Store and the Android App Store as compared to even big companies like Amazon. And this is a testament to the fact that the company has just become extremely popular in the US. So currently I'm in the Panyu district of Guangzhou, which is part of Guangdong province. So we're gonna go into an interview with Matthew to learn more about the company and check in with you guys once we're back in the studio. His name is Matthew Brennan, and he's well known. He recently wrote a book called Attention Factory about the rise of ByteDance and more specifically about their app TikTok. And today he's gonna share with us about a new and up and coming app called Shein. Matthew recently wrote an explosive report about the company containing a lot of information no one had heard about before. So we're very excited to welcome him to the episode today. All right, Mr. Brennan, welcome to the show. So good to see you, man. How are you doing?
Thank you, Jim. Thank you for inviting me. Shein has a reputation in China for being one of the most secretive companies in what is already a secretive industry, which is cross-border e-commerce. Okay, I've never heard of these guys. And then I went and downloaded their app and checked it, and I realized straight away their user experience was far better than anything else I'd seen in this category. Because the China market's brutal in terms of competition and there's no price advantage. So Shein prices are amazing to American consumers. They seem ludicrously cheap, but to Chinese consumers used to, say, a platform like Pinduoduo, they don't seem anything too special.
And one other kind of key pullout from your report that I think is super interesting, maybe the most interesting, is like how this whole real-time fashion phenomenon works.
The process would start with collecting data, right? So they're collecting data from within their own app. That's first-party data. They can sort of understand exactly what people are browsing through when they don't buy. And then they're also tracking social media, third-party platforms, and getting, sort of idea of, okay, this influencer's wearing that, and it's getting this level of engagement, da, 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 da. So all of that data is fed into their product design team. Thousands of these items every day, right? In terms of new styles, new trends. And so each one of these new items they're shipping out is a bet, essentially, right? Most of them don't sell well, right? But that's okay because they've only made 100 of them. They really don't need to sell that many of each one in order to just get back that cost. And the ones that do start to sell well, they can immediately see that from the data in their app, and so they can start to spin up those orders very, very fast. Yeah, exactly. It's very difficult to get. There's no public numbers on it, but from my sources, speaking to people in the industry, several people have confirmed their margin's 5%. So it's a small margin.
Right. But that's a small margin on a potentially tremendous number of orders, I imagine, right?
Yeah, definitely. They ship globally to like over 200 countries, basically every country in the world except India. But globally, Southeast Asia is actually a strong focus for the company now. They've opened up a new hub in Singapore. Yeah, I mean, what's interesting about Chris Xu, or sometimes called Sky Xu as well, is another name he goes under. This guy is from reportedly a quite modest background in Shandong province, went to university in Qingdao and came to Nanjing in a very low-key way, doing cross-border e-commerce for well over a decade now out of Nanjing. And Shein's the breakout success there, but there's many other companies also doing cross-border there. One of the trends that we've touched upon before is there's a lot of mini Sheins entering the market, right? So competition's ramping up. I think a lot of Chinese investors smell blood in the market because everyone's realized how Chinese brands and manufacturers are globally competitive now, not just in terms of price, but also in terms of brand building. Globally, there's lots and lots of young women who need clothes that aren't having those needs fulfilled to the level they could be. I think there's still a lot of growth. If we look at the growth curve there this year, it's actually accelerated a bit from the previous years, which is quite amazing. I would go along with your thesis that you just outlined there, that we will see other Chinese companies in different categories, different verticals, have a somewhat similar Shein type growth path, but predicting where that actually comes is where, it's the tricky part, right? So I'm sure they're already out there, but we've yet to see the ones that will have the super fast growth. This stuff doesn't happen overnight.
Well, thank you so much, sir. If our viewers are keen to read your excellent reporting or hire you for lucrative consulting engagements, where should they go?
The report I think you can link to on Not Boring. It's more of an essay than a report, I guess. And you can find me on Twitter, you can find me on LinkedIn, and those are the two places where you can reach out.
Well, thank you so much, Matt. We really appreciate you being on. We hope to see you back.
Thanks, Jim. Thanks for inviting me on again.
Yep. Cheers, man. You have a good one. So thanks again to Matthew Brennan for all the lessons he shared with us about Shein. So if you're interested in that, check the link below. And as usual, thank you guys for checking out our show. If there's other topics and companies you'd like us to interview experts about, please also let us know in the comments. We always find it interesting to hear from you guys about which companies and trends you find interesting. This is Jim Fields from Jim Bucai Guigu, Greater China Tech, signing out. See you guys next week.